Salenu. So you'll hear me do it. Let me tune up to you a little bit.
Shabbat Shalom all. So good to see all of you. I want to see a gallery view. Gallery view. It's so good to see all your faces. We're about to start. We're going to start on page 359. 359. At the bottom of page 359, a really precious verse that is specific to Chagim, Sukkot, also to Shavuot, but V'samachta b'chagecha, we shall rejoice in our Chag, our festival. What's our festival? What is it? What does it mean to rejoice? I don't know. We'll think about that during the course of our hour plus together. It's a complicated thing to be told how to feel. Complicated thing. We're not very good at taking emotional cues like that. Just feel something. Feel X. After all this time in the synagogue for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, but it's good to be told, go out into the world, build your sukkah, and try to feel some joy. So Cantor Adam is about to lead us in the Samachta B'Chagecha. After we do that, we'll turn to the next page, 360, and enjoy turn. Thank you, Nina, for your Shabbat Shalom to all of us and all the other chats. I love seeing those chats. They make me feel like it's the hugs at the beginning of the service. Each chat is like a hug. It's a hug. So let's hug a lot, as much as we can. And Cantor Adam.
Ya la 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 la, 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 major, ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. V'samachta v'chageha v'ha'ita ach sameach 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 v'samachta ושמחת בחגיה, והיית אך שמח, 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 ושמחת בחגיה, והיית אך שמח.
You know, we, in order to sometimes feel joy, you have to manufacture it, make it. And so the melody often does that. It often does that, and it pushes us. It can, if we allow it to. Okay, I'm gonna fight through all the other feelings to get to the joy. Before we actually turn. Before we do, I want to ask the Benjamins to light the Shabbat candles. Let's see, where are you all? I saw you guys a while ago. And Greg, Stu, you see the Benjamins? Where are you guys? Leslie, Ed, Willie, Jackson.
Hi.
What? Oh, whoops. Okay. Where? Okay. Greg, did you find them? Yay! Awesome. Willie, it's exciting. Oh my gosh, Jackson, look how tall you are. Wow, I have not seen you in too long. You're looking handsome as ever. Okay, I'll stop talking so we can hear you guys. Ed, I like the beard.
Ready?
Okay.
Bedtime's a charm. Oh,
Right?
So
I'll light it when you take it, okay?
Okay, bro.
yeah,
bro.
bro.
Okay, we're sorry about the technical difficulties.
Okay.
All right, take your time. Listen, I say it all the time in the synagogue. It was hard for God to create light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov.
Amen. Ooh, Willie
Just use it. Just use that.
Hold on.
No, no.
blew out the match so well. Be careful.
Okay.
Nicely done.
No, now blow. But
And let's say Shehecheyanu together. Let's
Very
sing
nice.
Shehecheyanu
Good
together.
job, Cantor. Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehecheyanu v'kiyemanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
We turn to page 360 as we offer turn.
Lai, 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 lai. Ya, lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. To everything turn. There is a season, turn, and a time to every purpose under heaven. To everything turn. There is a season, turn, and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time to love, a time to hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a purpose for everything under heaven.
A time to turn, and there certainly is a season for everything. The season at the moment is Shabbat and Sukkot, which of course is why we start with V'samachta b'chagecha and turn, turn, turn. And because it's a Chag tonight as we begin Sukkot, the tradition is you don't do the whole Kabbalat Shabbat liturgy on when Shabbat and the Chag coincide. And so we're going to turn and offer Psalm 92 on page 22, which is very much of course, a Shabbat piece of liturgy. And it's important and a blessing to get to celebrate Shabbat.
Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulzamer leshimcha elyon, ulzamer leshimcha elyon. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, Tov lehodot la'Adonai, uzamer leshimcha elyon, uzamer leshimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chasdecha, ve'emunacha ba'aleilot. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulzamer leshimcha elyon, ulzamer leshimcha elyon. Ki semachtani Adonai befa'alecha, b'maaseh yadecha aranein. Ma gadlu maasecha Adonai, me'oram kumachshebotecha. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulzamer leshimcha elyon, ulzamer leshimcha elyon.
And we turn to page 24 for Shalom Aleichem.
Actually, we'll finish Psalm 92.
Oh, forgive me, Cantor Adam. I thought you.
By saying how good it is to be in the courtyards of God and to be planted in them. Tzadikat amar עולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינובון בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולת
And now I think we'll turn to page 24 and welcome the angels in our lives, praying that we help those in our lives feel like they're angels for us and to us, helping us to fly high sometimes and just put one step in front of the other. That I think is what angels do down here, page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamelachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. מלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא Zeichem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mimelech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu.
In a moment after we do the Chatzi Kaddish and then the Baruch Hu, we'll offer this prayer, Ma'ariv Aravim, about the created world. One question is, well, does it just all go automatically? Like they push the button, the proverbial they, the royal they, way back when in the beginning, push the button and forever just keeps going? Or is there some act of intention that's required every single day? Or maybe you have to push the button every single day, or maybe it's every hour, every minute. Our Jewish way of thinking is that it actually takes an act of intention and creation every single day. And, in this time when we've just finished the high holidays and all this introspective, self-reflective stuff, and Sukkot sends us out into the world to be in our bodies, enough of being solely, exclusively in our minds, our spiritual stuff, to be in our bodies, to love the smell of the air, the night sky. It's a beautiful thing, this holiday of Sukkot. So as we prepare to offer Baruch Hu and then the Ma'ariv Aravim, it's particularly because we're in Sukkot, this beginning Sukkot, it's a wonderful time to think of these great experiences, these wow moments that I hope every one of us, I pray every one of us, and assume every one of us has had when we've seen a beautiful moon, a sunrise, a sunset, the horizon beyond the ocean, even here in Great Neck. They're all aha, wow moments. Hatzi Kaddish on 26.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah בעלמא דברך וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו Amen.
Page 28, if you'd like to rise, feel free to do so for the Baruch.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai המבורך לעולם ועד.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may your reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
Ahavat Olam 32.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אתה, תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו וקומנו נשיח בחוקך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
36 ואהבת.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohechem. And as we were just chanting, I pinned Willie Benjamin to see if he was chanting along with us, and he was so nicely, because I know he's going to help lead us in Ve'ahavta tomorrow.
Amen. Before we turn to Micha Mocha, let's offer this reading together on page 37. 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you're tired or you're rested. Let these words, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them, these words, at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. These words are reminders to do all my mitzvot, so that we all can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Micha Mocha on page 40.
Lai la 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 la. Lai lai la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot o sefele, nora tehilot o sefele. Malchutecha rauvanecha okeyayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam zeili anu v'yamru Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'ne'emar כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Amen. We are going to offer on page 42 the Hashkivenu prayer, but before we begin, I want to just reflect on this prayer and our moment in life and in the world. This prayer, Hashkivenu, lay us down, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, it's the third line, and then the final verse of it as well. Spread out a shelter of peace, a sukkah of peace. By the way, we have a beautiful sukkah here at the temple. Come and make it a time to come and have lunch, dinner. You can do it in a socially distanced way, and who knows, maybe we'll get to see each other. But I'm thinking about a Sukkot Shalom, this holiday of Sukkot. You know, we're supposed to on this holiday rejoice. This holiday is called the Zman Simchatenu, the time of our joy. And it's a complicated, confusing thing. What do you mean we're supposed to be a season of our joy, and at the same time we're supposed to leave our very secure and comfortable and stable and strong physical structures, our homes and our world, and go out into all the insecurity for a week of our sukkah? You get the contradiction or the tension. On the one hand, rejoice. On the other hand, go and live in a very tenuous hut that doesn't give you the kind of comforts that your home does. And every year we do this. We go and spend time in a sukkah, and then we're reminded, oh, wow, it's so great when we get back to the security, stability, reliability, dependability, everything we expect, it's all there. That's the way normally it is in prior years. This year, going out into the sukkah just highlights all of the insecurity, uncertainty, confusion, division, fear that we've been living for 6 or 8 months. So it's actually a different kind of Sukkot this year. When Sukkot ends, we're not going to be able to go back to our normal lives in our homes and be able to understand, oh yeah, we kind of know what to expect for the coming days, weeks, months. Between the horror and the tragedy of the coronavirus and all of the emotions that are out there in terms of our political scene, upcoming election and so forth, there's so little certainty, there's so little reliability, even in the privacy and the comforts of our homes. So I just want to share a thought from Rabbi Dov Lenzer, who pointed this out today, in a piece he wrote today in the Times of Israel. And he says, this Sukkot, unlike so many others, we're living in an unstable world, a world that's way less stable than in prior years. We are well aware that our lives lack a certain stability, that society is not as it was before the holiday, and will not be so for some time to come. And then this is his charge, his challenge, his description of where we are and what this moment means to us in Sukkot. But it is precisely in this reality of uncertainty that we can do the mitzvah of building a sukkah. We can bring our talents to the fore to make it not only livable but truly special. It won't be perfect. Our lives are not going to be perfect. Not to be trite, just to validate what we all know so deeply. But by embracing this imperfection, his last sentence, hopefully we can find new ways to connect with each other and discover God's presence in our lives. That somehow all of this uncertainty can help us deepen our awareness and our sense of wonder and gratitude, as opposed to create greater distance from wonder, gratitude, love, and so forth. So with that, Hashkivenu on 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'yamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Lai 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 lai. Lai 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 Ufros aleinu sukkah shelomecha v'taknenu beitzah tova milfanecha v'hoshienu ufros aleinu sukkah shlomecha v'taknenu beitzah tova לפניך והושיענו. ילאי, ילאי, לי, 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 ילאי, לי, 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 לי. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו ביצה טובה מלפניך והושיענו. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל
We go from the shelter of peace, maybe in physical space, on 42, to Vishamru, page 44, the shelter of peace in time, in temporal experience of life. It requires an act of creation to create peace in our time. So Vishamru 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Let's, if you'd like to rise, we'll continue with our standing prayer, the Amidah, on page 46.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehillatcha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'anora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
Amen.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, but just for one more week.
Exactly.
מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We turn to page 56.
ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. רצה אדוני אלוהינו בימך ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל, ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל. ישראל עמך אל קרוב לכל קורב, פני אל עבדיך וחוננו, שכוח רוחך אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, יעלה ויבוא ויזכר זיכרוננו וזיכרון כל עמך בית ישראל לפניך, לטובה לכן ולחסד ורחמים, לחיים ושלום ביום חג הסוכות הזה. זוכרנו אדוני אלוהינו בו לטובה, ופוקדנו בו לברכה, והושיענו בו לחיים.
Amen.
ותחזינה עינינו בשובך לציון. ברוך אתה Zion.
Let's offer the English towards the bottom of 56, the special insert for this holiday of Sukkot. Page 56. Our God and God of our fathers and mothers, on this day of Sukkot, be mindful of us and all your people Israel for good, for love, for compassion, life, and peace. Remember us for well-being. Everyone say, Amen.
Amen.
Visit us with blessing. Everyone say, Amen.
Amen.
And finally, help us to a fuller life. One last time.
Amen.
Amen. Let's just take a moment of quiet time for ourselves, just a moment before we come together for our final prayer, Oseh Shalom on 62.
Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'yimeru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'yimeru, Amen. Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'yimeru, Amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael, Amen.
We turn now from a prayer for peace for all of us to our prayer for healing, our Misha Berach. So feel free to send in a chat of a name of a loved one, a dear one in your life you're thinking about. The Misha Berach can be found on page 253.
Misha Berach Avotenu מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. משברך אמותינו, מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Thank you for that beautiful Misha Berach, Cantor Adam. In a moment, we're actually going to hear from Tara. We're going to get a Sukkot story from Tara in the Sukkah. Before we do, though, Greg, that was my little cue to you to get ready. I want to come back to this idea that I shared earlier on the service, that there are these two competing values and goals and truths that define Simchat Torah, Sukkot. The holiday of Sukkot is one where, we're called to bring joy. As I said, the Zman Simchatenu, the period, the season of our joy. But it's also the holiday in which we read the book of Kohelet. The book of Kohelet, which begins with vanity of vanities. It's just vanity. It's hevel. It's sort of passing, and nothing makes a difference. It's all ephemeral, and what's the meaning? And it's a profound tension, and so much the more so at this moment in our lives, in our country, the first time in a century, a pandemic, and so much tension within the country, within the world. How do we go about thinking about this challenge of, wait a second, it feels like it's all just vanity and ephemeral, and it just passes. When it's cold outside and you see the bubble, you breathe out and there's little bubbles, and you blow on your window of your car, and in a moment it's gone. That's Hevel. That's Hevel from the book of Kohelet. But at the same time, we're called to really understand the deepest, most profound and palpable kinds of joy. It's all very, very Jewish because it's so real. In our tradition, we don't try to sugarcoat it. It's not like we're clear about some afterlife. We're not clear about so much about life. What we're clear about is trying to capture the truth of our experiences. And in this moment, our experiences are very complicated. So I want to now turn Greg or Stu, who's ever driving, and we're going to hear a wonderful story from Rabbi Tara.
Hey everybody, great to see you in the Sukkah on this beautiful afternoon. So a story for Sukkot, because that's what I always like to do every year. A story is told of King Solomon, who had an advisor, Banai, and he was his best advisor, this General Banai. Whatever King Solomon wanted, Banai would bring him. And for that reason, this general was a little bit proud. So one Passover, King Solomon was sitting at a Seder with Banai next to him, and he thought, I need to do something to take Banai down a couple notches. So he pulled him close and he said, are you not my trusted advisor? And Banai said, yes, I am. And King Solomon said, and do you not grant me everything that my heart desires? And Banai said, well, yes, I do. King Solomon said, there is one thing that I truly want that I don't have. And a hush fell down the whole long royal Seder table, because everyone thought the king had everything he needed. And Benai said, well, what is it? King Solomon said, you know, there is a ring, I have been told. It is a magical ring. It can make a happy person sad and a sad person happy. Can you find me this ring by, I'll give you 6 months, Sukkot. Can you find me the ring by Sukkot? Of course, my master, said Benai. And off he went. 6 months is a long time, but he knew this was quite a challenge. So as soon as Pesach was over, he went to the amazing marketplaces in Jerusalem. He went to every single goldsmith and silversmith and craftsman, and he said, do you have this magic ring? No one had it. So then he traveled outside Jerusalem all the way up to Tiberias and Sfat, searching to every person who worked in gold and silver and metal. Nothing. Well, there are many amazing trade routes that go through the Holy Land, and so he would stop the caravans as they came through and ask, surely inside your trunk you must have this ring. The king desires it. Finally, he thought, maybe I'll try the high seas. So he went down to the port of Yaffo and asked every sailor who came in on every ship, where is this ring? It's a magical ring. The king desires it. I need to get it to him by Sukkot. Nothing. 5 months went by. The clock is ticking down. He's back in Jerusalem, and he decides he's going to make one last effort. He goes to the best marketplace in Jerusalem early in the morning. Everyone is just setting out their wares. There's a young boy, and he's putting out a beautiful carpet, and on it he's putting down the rings one by one by one. And for the first time in his life, Benai is feeling a little bit insecure. He says, little boy, have you ever heard of this ring? It's a magical ring. I need it for the king. It can make a happy person sad, a sad person happy. You must. The little boy scratched his head, and Benai started to walk away. And then there was an old man sitting in the corner of the shop, and he lifted up his gnarled hand, and he called the little boy over, and he whispered in his ear. And the boy said, Benai, come back, my grandfather, he thinks he knows. And together they went back into the back room of the store and into an old dusty velvet sack and pulled out the ring. And as soon as he saw it, Benai knew this was the one. Finally it's Sukkot, and there he was sitting in the schach, under the schach, in a simple royal sukkah for the holiday feast. And Benai is sitting there being quiet, and King Solomon was thinking, okay, this holiday is all about humility. I cannot wait to call Benai over. I'll ask him if he found this magical ring. He won't have found it. And for the first time in his life, he'll be humbled. So halfway through the feast, the moment comes. King Solomon says, so you may remember 6 months ago I asked you if you could find me this magical ring. Yes, you did, said Benai. And did you find me that ring? Well, yes, I did. And everybody in the long table, this beautiful feast, got quiet. Benai takes out the sack, pulls out the ring. It's a simple silver ring. And on it are written the words, Gam ze ya'avor. This too shall pass. And when the king saw it, he realized that even with all of his riches, he too would one day be returned to the dust. And the joy of this holiday kind of went away. And then he realized, but even that too shall pass, and one day we will all be united in a great light, and there would be joy. And he knew this was the magical ring. So he took off his signet ring, he put it on General Benai, and he wore this ring for the rest of his life. And so on this joyous holiday of Sukkot, we are also remembering that this beautiful sukkah that our staff has made, and this beautiful fall weather, and the Brotherhood has put together, and the Sukkot that maybe you have in your homes, you know what, they're gonna get a little droopy with the first rain. And Gamze Ya'avor, this too shall pass in the turning and turning and turning of the seasons. And that is a reason to keep us humble, and it's also a reason to make us feel joy. So may you feel the joy of this season, and may you feel the humility of this season, and may you remember these three important words, Gamze Ya'avor. And thus ends my Sukkot story.
Man, beautiful. Okay. I just want to share add one thought to this. Gamze Ya'avor, this too shall pass. Obviously, the reason for this story is because Jews for many, 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 many centuries have faced lives and realities that have felt unbearable, have felt like we don't know if we can manage, we can sustain another minute, another day, another week, another month, another year. But this story comes to remind us this too shall pass. And I read this very wonderful little vort from a man who does incredible peace work in Israel between Jews and Palestinians. His name is Hanan Schlesinger. He actually was here in Great Neck a number of years ago. And on this idea that Gamze Ya'avor, this too shall pass, and this holiday of Sukkot, vanity of vanities, everything, it feels so hard to have faith that anything matters. So he says this, Hanan. This is his advice, one piece of advice, for how to help ourselves have that hope. This really challenging, horrible time will pass. One must find the intrinsic value of the present. Wisdom is indeed meaningful if it is gathered for its own sake and not as a monument to the person who gathered it. There's no better occasion than this time of ultimate accounting and introspection. That's our high holiday season concluding in Sukkot. There's no better time than this to look death in the eye, even to blink and to struggle and to teeter on the edge of the abyss of meaninglessness, and to come out of this struggle with a renewed dedication to the sanctity and beauty of every single moment that God has given us on earth. Find the intrinsic value of the present. And I think the more we can plug into that, lean into that, the more we can feel with hope and optimism and confidence, Gamze Ya'avor, there are bright times ahead for all of us. Okay, thank you, Tara. We turn now to Aleinu on page 282. We rise, if you'd like to rise in your homes. Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tekenu la'yotze bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'arasot, velo samanu kemishchokot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים מהימל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. כך ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר
287. Haya Adonai למלך על כל הארץ.
ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
As always, we remember loved ones before concluding. And so we remember in a period of Shloshim, last 30 days, J. Allen Ornstein, Norma Levitt, and Beverly Spicer. And we remember the Yortzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Warren Burke and Michael Cohen, Charles Sylvan Don and David Don, Beatrice Fisher, Benjamin Fishman, Molly Galasco, Harry Greenfield and Manny Greenfield, Manny Siskrot and June Grunebaum, Gabriel Leibowitz, Nathan Lyman, Sylvia Levin, Minnie Mayer, Bernard Marks, Eva Pesser, Florence Shear, and Abe Stumer. Of course, I should have said this before. If you're remembering someone, please add their names to our chat. We can share in our care and devotion and gratitude to all of them just by reading their names. Mourner's Kaddish is on 294. Yitgadal v'kadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyamechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. B'agala v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'l'olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha brechu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran b'yalma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
Amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen. As the light of the memories of our loved ones still shines in our lives, let's remember their light. If you're in the prayer book, please follow with me on page 291. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we've loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. Yesh kochavim she'oram magia arza, רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ואינם. יש אנשים שזיו זכרם מאיר, כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד בתוכנו. אורות אלה המבריקים בחשכר הליל, הם שמרים לאדם את הדרך, את הדרך. הם שמרים לאדם את הדרך, את הדרך. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we've loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the stars that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember, as we live our days. These are the ways we remember, we remember, we remember, we remember.
Beautiful, beautiful. We remember. Okay, we're gonna, in a moment, we'll close with Kiddush and Motzi. Willie, you'll lead us in Hamotzi in a moment, but a few things first. A few announcements before Kiddush and then closing with Motzi. Announcements, tomorrow, a great celebration. If you all didn't notice yet, we get to celebrate the coming of age, the bar mitzvah of Mr. Willie Benjamin and Benjamin family. It's a very exciting day to look forward to. In addition, immediately after the service tonight, a virtual oneg. We're looking for someone who can host virtual onegs in coming weeks. It's very simple, costs nothing. Just step up a little bit. Contact the main office. Tomorrow, Torah study as usual. It's a great highlight at 9 o'clock. It was shifted 15 minutes earlier, so Torah study is now starting at 9. Not at 9:15. Again, Shabbat morning service at 10:30 with Willie and family. Havdalah tomorrow night at 7:15 p.m. Picking up again this week, every Monday and Thursday morning. We have morning minyan, which is a wonderful group of folks. A couple special programming notes. Thursday, October 15th, Brotherhood membership book discussion, Sandy Koufax, A Lefty's Legacy. A Lefty's Legacy, Sandy Koufax. Then Sunday the 18th, Sisterhood Rosh Chodesh. And so those are some programming notes. In addition, next week, let me just close with this. Next Friday night, we'll celebrate Erev Simchat Torah. Again, of course, at 7 o'clock. And next Shabbat morning will be the Simchat Torah service with, of course, carve out some time to remember, just thinking of this beautiful Yesh Kochavim piece that Cantor Adam led us in. We will remember our loved ones in the Yizkor service, part of next week's Simchat Torah and Shabbat morning service. I leave anything out, Cantor Adam, that you want to add? You want to remind me anything we've left out?
Only that there's a custom on Sukkot to have guests come to your sukkah, of course, real live guests, and of course we're sort of lacking that this year. But there's also this custom of inviting spiritual guests, members of our extended ancestral family, and to bring aspects of their relationship with the eternal into our sukkah. They're known as ushpizin. Yep. You may have heard that term before.
There's a movie.
Ushpizin, and because we don't have real visitors in our sukkah this year, I want to invite all of you. You're here now as our Ushpizum.
Bum. Nicely done. I just want to tweak one thing that Cantor Adam said, not the Ushpizum, because he's much more clever and creative than I am on that front, and most fronts. But we are actually, I hope you know, going to be, we have a beautiful sukkah out on our Rudin garden. And it's great to have a meal. That's the mitzvah of Sukkot, to have a meal.
Very spacious.
Spacious.
You can space out.
Exactly. So you come and you'll be socially distanced.
Very distant.
You need to be in touch with the office beforehand, and it's really wonderful. And I'm looking forward to spending some time out there. And so if you make an appointment to make a time, we'd love to see you.
Sign up.
Sign up, exactly.
Chow down.
Sign
Chill
up and
out.
chow down. Thank you to Cantor Adam and Greg and Stu, and of course our wonderful pianist, accompanist, and musical and spiritual presence, Shai. Thanks to the Margolov family as well for the challah, as always. And we're going to come to our conclusion. Cantor Adam, you're going to lead us in Kiddush, and then they'll do Motzi, or
Festival Kiddush.
exactly. And then Willie, you're going to be ready for Motzi, yeah?
All right. Festival Kiddush is found on page, well, in my book, 386, but. וידבר משה את מועדי אדוני בני ישראל, ויהי ערב ויבוקר יום השישי. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל עם ורוממנו מכל לשון וקידשנו במצוותיו. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה שבתות למנוחה ומועדים לשמחה, חג וזמנים לששון, את יום השבת הזה ואת יום חג הסוכות הזה, זמן שמחתנו מקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת ומועדי קודשך, באהבה וברצון, בשמחה ובששון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת וישראל והזמנים.
Amen.
And we can all say Shehechianu together. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Chaim.
Amen. L'chaim. All right, Motzi Willie.
Let's spotlight the
Spotlight.
Benjamins. Yes.
Yes, excellent.
Good?
Yes.
All right. Baruch.
No, challah.
Brad.
All right, you can do it. Do it, Bill, Willie. You can do it too. B'rei Priya go.
Better, right?
No, you first say the prayers.
Yeah.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. You know, there's a controversy in the Jewish world. Do you cut the challah or do you tear the challah? I see which side of that controversy.
We'll do that. I will do.
Oh, I don't know. All right.
When
Well,
it's braided, it's easier to pull
It's
apart.
true, it's
when
true.
When it's still the round challah, you gotta pull off the dome there.
amen, Willie, and family. Great. Cantor will close. Lead us, Cantor, in our closing piece.
Hey. Let's rejoice in our festival once more. Okay.
As a Cantor's preparing, just one final thing, that after we're done, there are going to be, I think, 2 videos that will be played. One is a video that I'm describing how to wave the lulav, a little bit about the lulav, and then there's another video with Cantor Adam singing a number of Sukkot songs. So enjoy.
ושמחת בחגיך והיית
359 at the bottom.
ושמחת בחגיה והיית אך שמח 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 ושמחת בחגיה והיית אך שמח
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. Hello, dear friends. Chag Sameach. It's amazing to stand in the sukkah built by our brotherhood and our facility staff led by wonderful Stu Botwinick. We've spent so much time, whether we're in front of our screen or just in our own minds, so much time in this introspective, contemplative, self-reflective space. That's what Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the 10 days of awe, 10 days of teshuvah. It's very internal, it's very private, even though we might in past years and future years be surrounded by people. It's so much about the internal work of being a human being, being a Jew, being a spiritually alive person. And the beauty of Sukkot is that we get to be out of our body, out of our hearts and minds, and we get to be in our bodies. And that's why it's such a brilliant, blessed gift that the tradition gives us. Leave the synagogue and go outdoors. Build a sukkah, bang, 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 or whatever the way it is. Spend time eating in a sukkah, singing in a sukkah, sleeping in a sukkah. I want to emphasize eating in a sukkah or just hanging out, because our beautiful sukkah, which you'll see in a moment, it's open all the time during Sukkot. Be in touch with us, and we will. We'll set a table that's distance from others. And really come have lunch, come have a meal, bring your own, do something with the caterer. There's something going on with the caterer. Okay, I want to say something about the ritual of waving these 4 species, which we call the lulav. This is the etrog. This is the lulav. This is the myrtle, and this is the willow. The etrog is like the heart. The lulav is like the spine. The willow here, look, it's like your eyes, and the willow is your lips. Think about the symbolism of each of these species. There's a great acronym which reminds us how we shake the lulav. You might remember it. Maybe you've heard me say this before. Talk about this. Fur blood. Repeat that. Fur blood. FRBLUD. Fur blood. Front. Right. Back. Left. Up. Down. Fur blood. So why do we do this? What the Torah has done, what our tradition has done, it's so beautiful, is take the range of ideas about the universe. You know, polytheistic ideas, pre-biblical ideas, and turn them into this beautiful, beautiful spirituality that everything is connected. Everything is connected. It's from God, it's from ultimacy, it's from the Creator. And our goal and our mission during Sukkot is to bring it into ourselves, to feel the awe, the wonder, the mystery by shaking the lulav. And so, I'll say the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al nitilat lulav. Maybe say it at home. And then we shake it 3 times. Up, down, fur blood. You smell the lulav. The etrog. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I want to warn you though, no matter how beautiful they are to look at and wonderful they are to smell, don't eat them. These etrog are not treated as food products. There's tons of pesticides that are used to produce them. Don't eat them, please don't. Some people make jam. Okay, if you're gonna take all the precautions you need. Anyway, may you have a sweet and joyful Sukkot. This is a holiday, Zman Simchatenu, the time of our joy, and may we get to see each other in the Sukkah. May we get to be each other very soon and very often. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach! Happy Sukkot! It's Cantor Adam. We're here in the beautiful Sukkah, and we're taught that we should rejoice in our festival. V'samachta v'chageha v'ha'ita ach sameach. 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 Lai 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 ya lai 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 lai. Chag Sameach.
Say hello.
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 Shalom.
Hi.
Shabbat shalom.
Hello.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom.
Hi,
Chag
Elaine.
Sameach.
Hi.
Hello.
Samea.
Unmute.
Chag Sameach.
Hi, Roberta.
I'm unmuted.
I'm on. Oh, here comes a person.
There's a bunch of persons.
Our pianist.
Oh, yeah.
Guy.
Which
Yeah.
side?
Have a great week.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Phil.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Elaine.
Hi, Elaine. Hi.
Hi,
Elaine.
Elaine.
Hello.
Elaine.
Which one?
You, not me.
Okay.
I talk to myself, but I'm not on
No,
the
I didn't hear the voice.
generally not on the computer if I can help it.
It's hard when there's two of us on at the same time. I don't know who they're talking to.
Okay.
Right.
I was supposed to contact you about how to get on chats, remember?
I know, you never did.
I know.
And I had to get off Wednesday. I had
They
something to
say
do.
in Yiddish, ich schein vergessen.
I guess. Yeah.
Ich schein
Oops.
vergessen.
In other words, oops.
Mhm.
Has anyone been in the sukkah yet?
What?
Has anyone been in the sukkah?
No.
Not I.
I don't know how we're supposed to do it, really. It
You
was a
call
little
the-
You have
ambiguous.
to call.
You gotta call the office.
I have to call Monday.
It's
Okay.
email. You can do it on your email.
Or email.
You
Oh,
can
you
do
want-
it on the email. I'll call. You
Like
can-
sign up for a time or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what confused me, the time. So it said filled in, taken up, what? It was a little confusing, right? A little bit.
No, it was like 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30.
But
Like
what days? Did it say what days?
Yeah, Monday and Thursday.
Monday and Thursday.
Oh, really?
Times were there, but they were like collapsed into one another. So
Yeah. It was a little
that was the
complicated.
problem.
No,
How many people are they letting in at one time? Do you know?
Three. I think three.
Three
Oh, okay.
groups or three people?
I think three people. Well, what?
Yeah.
Rochelle, maybe you know
It
something.
could be it could be either three people or three units, like a family would be like one unit.
Oh,
Oh,
they-
that's not
it's
many.
Because they live together.
Yeah.
Call the office. It says, can
Yeah.
you hear me? Am I unmuted?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm on my iPad. Usually I'm on my
All right.
computer, so it's a little different.
Oh, working.
It's working. Okay. So they said in the email, I guess it was, call the office and they will tell you when you can come. And I think it's more than three people.
I know something
Fred, were
three.
you over there already? Fred, have you seen it since it's been up? Fred?
They're gone.
Fred, yes. Fred built it.
Okay, so
Whoa.
isn't it the,
Hey,
all right, Fred, so
I-
isn't it the usual, wait a minute, Dory, wait a second. I'm trying to ask Fred something.
yes.
Is it the usual size that we've had, the large size?
that's what I
Long?
wanted to know.
Size, yes. Stu
All right,
wanted
so
a large
enough that-
size.
There's enough that if they
24
put
by
three,
40, by 36.
Oh my goodness.
but we
that's
could put
nice and
at
big.
least three tables in and
Oh,
people are not gonna be on
thanks.
top of each other.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just three people. It depends upon how many you have in your group
Oh,
Yeah.
and how it's gonna be spaced out. You won't be on top of each other.
Right.
If I'm thinking the way we've been doing it,
It's
there's enough
beautiful.
room.
I mean, I haven't seen it I only saw it virtual, but the what bamboo or whatever they used is gorgeous.
They always use
That's
bamboo
on the top.
Oh,
Yeah.
but they put some on the floor this time, and they put that aqua hanging.
Bamboo's on the top.
So
The
the
floor
top, it was a
is glass.
shadow on the ground.
Oh, yeah. Probably the shadow. Right.
Oh,
If you were
looks
watching
beautiful.
when Tara was on a mayor, you kept seeing the sunlight and it was whatever was coming
Right.
through
It
overhead.
looked like a resort. It did.
Yeah.
You did a good job, Fred.
Of course, the
Friend.
Brotherhood always does. Yay,
job.
Brotherhood.
The
Good
brothers,
job.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't the last year's sukkah destroyed in a storm? Wasn't there some sort of
No,
storm?
you were there with your
Yes.
grandchildren.
No,
You
but
were there.
the end.
afterwards, I remember.
No,
there
it was
a
knocked
problem.
down. It was. Susan's right.
They
Oh,
needed It's a
Yeah,
good.
We had to buy the new materials and build from new
It
materials.
is different.
Right.
Yes, it looks very different.
because last year's got knocked down from the weather,
Yeah,
But
but they had to build a new one.
right?
it's beautiful.
Yeah, we had to build it from scratch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So-
last year got
So,
Yeah, the
so
storm.
what,
They had,
what
they
was
had,
that?
in fact, you had to order new poles from last year because all the
Right.
ones that were there were trashed. So,
Oh, it's beautiful, but it doesn't look anything like what, at least to me, what was there in the past, because
That's what I thought.
but each
Yeah.
well, we've done different things and used
same
different
thing, did
materials
we?
to read over the years. So that's why it depends upon whether they built it themselves or we got the material. So this is different from even last year.
yeah. Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Do
Very
any,
nice.
do any of your neighbors have sukkahs? Because our whole street is full of them here
Really?
on Margaret
Oh,
Court.
how
And
nice.
they're-
Really?
I
Yeah,
don't see any on the terraces near me.
Your street?
every
I'm at
house
the-
has one on the side or the back.
Chris, I'm at the wrong end of town. You're not going to see too many sukkahs.
Yes, you are.
Not in the apartments,
Oh, yeah.
not on the
Chris,
terraces.
Chris, where do you live? What street?
Arundel
Chris,
Avenue.
Which one?
Arundel down by the pool.
Oh, Arundel. Oh, yeah, sure. You would have, yeah.
Well, on the sides are court.
Yeah.
They all have cloth sides, big. I don't know if they're in there tonight. I would guess.
But they're not gonna have crowds. We
No.
used to go to Arbors, but
They're not
It depends.
supposed to have crowds.
They're
That
not
doesn't mean
supposed
that doesn't mean they're not going to. That's the problem.
No, this family belongs to Great Neck Synagogue, and they invite us every year. But this year, they're really concerned about the distancing and all that. He's a
Good,
doctor, and he had COVID, and she had COVID too.
Oh,
And they're okay now?
Oh yeah, it was months ago, but they're still very concerned about spreading it or other people themselves getting it again because it's very new. Nobody knows, so
Right.
they're being very careful this year. So I don't think we're going into their sukkah this year, but it's there. There, you can hear the poles clunking all over the street.
Chris, I would forgive them this year for not being invited.
Yes,
Just to say
yeah.
well.
Well, no, she asked me, and I said I think we're a little nervous about that.
Rain check.
really?
Rain check. No, rain check with no rain.
Yeah, yeah. No, they're lovely, lovely people, but I think not this year.
Really? You wouldn't go? You wouldn't
No,
go?
No, I'm glad.
it's all
I'm happy
enclosed,
to hear they're being careful.
Elaine. It's all enclosed around the sides, the cloth sides, and there's, opening at the top, but there would be like 8 people in there around a table.
Oh,
Doing
yeah.
mask off because you're eating, and it just doesn't seem safe. Sadly. I'm not. Yeah.
why
go
take
ahead.
a chance?
Yeah.
You're right.
The
Wait,
one
wait,
at,
Rochelle.
the one at the temple, do they have 4 enclosed sides or did they leave like,
No. Well, there's two openings, an entrance at the front and an entrance at the back. But it's essentially enclosed. That's the law. It's supposed to be. It's covered with like a plastic sheeting which you could see all wrapped around. So, except I don't know if the caterer wanted us to leave some of it off, so he may have done something. I don't know.
The caterer, is there going to be food in there or people bringing
I
their own?
don't know. He may be having an event or events in there. Who
Well,
knows?
there's a bar mitzvah tomorrow, so who knows if they're using it.
Yeah.
it's not for us, Elaine. If the caterer is doing something.
Right.
not
In
for
the
us.
sukkah? In the sukkah?
Well, they use the rooftop for the catering, so,
I
so-
mean, if you say something's catered, then you're thinking there are more than 10 people in there.
You would
Right.
think.
I'm trying to remember who's, I think it was a bat mitzvah, that it was right around the time, and the sukkah was up, and there were tables in the sukkah, and there were tables outside the sukkah, and the food was all outside almost near Rabbi Davidson's office. I think like 2, maybe 3 years ago. So they've done it where they've used it when the sukkah's up. But, you know, considering everything going on, who knows how they're going to be using it and who's going to use it. And whether they allow anybody in. Maybe they're putting the food in there and everybody just goes through and then walks out. Who knows?
But maybe this is a Zoom bar mitzvah. I don't know.
Oh, right.
Maybe just the family.
I think so.
Maybe the family is there.
Yeah.
Well,
I think there's a Zoom connection.
They can have 50 now. You can have up to 50. It's not.
Depends on the space. I mean, you can have.
50 where?
You have a very big.
Right, but it's
venue.
a large rooftop. I mean, you know, they could be outside the sukkah and inside the sukkah. You know, and then you could. Didn't Mayor say he was having a video on how to use the lulav?
He did.
He did. He just did it.
Yeah, he had a little video on the lulav and etrog.
Yeah, he showed us how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice. That was really
Fur love for what was that? Fur love?
That's a good question. For love.
Up, down, right, left.
No, forward, up, right.
Yeah, forward. Remember what the F was.
Rug.
Forward,
up,
Sounds like a bad word.
Fur blah.
Forward, right.
For blunging.
For blunge it, that's a good one.
Bar mitzvah is on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
Bar mitzvah is on YouTube.
Yeah. Not surprising. Tomorrow's bar mitzvah on YouTube. Yeah. Right.
Torah
Well, I'm
studies
sure a
on
lot of
Zoom.
people don't.
Well, I'm going to be saying goodbye. Everybody have a happy, healthy Sukkot.
Thank
And
you.
this
Right.
and
Good to see everybody.
Thanks for everything you do.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris and Fred.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Fred.
Good night.
Good night.
Some of you in the morning.
Good night.
Good night.